What is up here, YouTube? Jigsaw0097 here tonight. It's a bit late, but I'm gonna give my 2016 Game of the Year award. Now, I reviewed this game earlier in the year, and I'm just a huge fan of the series, so that game that I'm giving Game of the Year is Dark Souls 3. Now, I bought the Day 1 edition. It actually comes with this cool little sleeve, and it came with like the coolest thing here. Sorry. It came with like a game soundtrack inside there, along like this is the game disc, and then it also came with like a little miniature strategy guide thingy. And I know what you're saying, only noobs need that, but you know, it's cool to have like a full color booklet of some kind to come in your game these days, guys. So yeah, pretty cool with that. But anyway, just cut right in. If you watched my review earlier, not many of you did. I just really loved this game. I would have to say this game was my favorite game of the year, just because I'm a huge fan, and Dark Souls 3 pretty much did everything that Dark Souls 1 and 2 did, but it just did it so much better, so much smoother, so much more beautifully. I mean, everything about this game, the gameplay is smooth, the graphics smooth. It still had the 30 FPS issues because unfortunately it still ran on that engine, but you know, this is still a great game, guys. If you've never played Dark Souls, to be honest, this is probably I would say it is probably the one to start with, just because it is the most refined. Now, another part of this video, like I said, I've played all of them. I actually have Dark Souls 1 and 2 on the Xbox 360, and then I bought the Dark Souls 2 Scholar of the First Sin edition, which basically throws all the DLC that I never got to play on the 360. Funny thing, Dark Souls 1 and 2 is actually the last Xbox 360 games I ever played. So those are the games that I went out on before I bought my Xbox One. So this was a great game to have transition over. And then boom, Dark Souls 3 came out this year in April, and it's just amazing. So honestly, I would recommend to anyone wondering, I would buy every single Dark Souls game and play them. But if you're kind of iffy, I mean, they're very difficult games. I would say difficult if you don't know what you're doing. I don't think they're that hard as games, just because there's a lot of skill involved, and if you learn the mechanics and you learn how to play these games, they're really not all that bad. I mean, that's one of the things I like about them, to be honest, is it rewards persistence, these games. And if you just keep going at it, you know, you'll die a whole bunch, you'll get frustrated, you'll start swearing. These things happen in this game. That's kind of the point of it, and you die a lot over and over and over again. And the coolest thing about this game is the more you die, the more you learn. So eventually you die so much that you just start to learn, and you learn how to like dodge roll, you learn how to block, you learn how to use your magic. You know, there's all sorts of things. You got all sorts of abilities. You learn how to use your bow. That's just kind of the game. It is a very rewarding experience. Doesn't treat you like you don't know what you're doing, which a lot of video games do nowadays, and it's kind of a problem in my eyes. And Dark Souls just harkens back to that day of old, back in the NES, up to like PlayStation era type games with like Tenchu even. If you guys remember Tenchu Stealth Assassins, that was a very difficult game of the time. Metal Gear, you know. Dark Souls is in a different category as those, but it's right up there. I mean, it'll just make you feel like you're playing an older game. One of the things I like about these games too, and especially in Dark Souls 3, is that they don't really tell you the story, but they give you like little hints throughout. So it's almost like one of those stories where you can kind of come up with your own interpretation of it. I've had discussions with friends, like many friends, about what they think about Dark Souls. There's all these sorts of wikis too, which is really cool. I mean, there's a huge community. That's another thing that's great about these games, is like, if you ever have like questions or you get stuck or anything, like, the community is there. I mean, when I played Dark Souls 1, I was so pissed off in the beginning of the game because I couldn't get anywhere. And then I started reading wikis, and I found out you can get the Drake sword if you just shoot the dragon's tail under the bridge. You get, anyone that's played knows what I'm talking about. The ultimate noob weapon. So I just learned if you shoot the tail enough, it'll come off, and then you get the Drake sword, and it's like a really overpowered sword for like most of the game. And that's kind of how I got into Dark Souls, like learned how to get better at the game, was just kind of reading wikis, you know, practicing, doing PvP, you know, stuff like that. And when I played Dark Souls 2 and 3, Dark Souls 2 I played a complete mage, and it was really easy because I used the binocular sniping strategy for most of the game. But then I also had the flame longsword at 10, so I was like a melee mage. I learned how to dodge roll really well in Dark Souls 2. And then in Dark Souls 3, I played a rogue class, which I'd never done before, so I used the bow a lot, the katanas. And yeah, it was all around fun. I haven't picked up any of the DLCs, guys, for Dark Souls 3 yet. I'm waiting until they do like a bundle sale, is usually what I do with any DLCs these days, because if you guys watched my What's Wrong with Gaming 26, or it wasn't 2016, it was just What's Wrong with Gaming These Days kind of video, where I talked about like No Man's Sky and stuff. I kind of talked about how I don't really like how games just don't end anymore, you know, like there is no like beginning and end when a game comes out. It's usually like DLC, and you have to wait like another year to finish your game. And that was fun, like back in 2009, 2010, but I feel like it's gotten really, really, really worn thin. I mean, it's just done. But anyway, that has nothing to do with this, so. But yeah, another cool thing too that you'll see right here, if you guys buy Dark Souls 3, you actually get a copy right there, digital copy of Dark Souls 1 backwards compatibility on the Xbox One. So yeah, this is a great game to close out the series, guys. I don't know if they're going to do another Dark Souls. If you've never played a Dark Souls game, this is the time. So yeah, overall, I give this game, I give it like a 9 out of 10. I mean, like I said, it's 9.5 out of 10. It has the engine from Dark Souls 1. That's the biggest knock I have on it. It still runs at 30 frames. It's still kind of sluggish. It could be better, but as far as Dark Souls games goes, it's beautiful. I mean, they've really perfected their craft here. So anyway, guys, that's my game of the year. I'm gonna do some honorable mentions videos probably. I didn't play a whole lot of games in 2016 because overall it was a disappointing year in my mind. I never played Battlefield 1. I never played Titanfall 2. What was the other big one? Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I don't even count that anymore. But the other game that I did play was Overwatch, and I'll probably be doing another video about Overwatch just as a game review now that I've played it a whole bunch and like a bunch of events and updates have come out, what I kind of think about the game as a whole. So anyway, guys, look for that video, and thank you for watching this video, and as always, this is Jigsaw097, and I'll talk to you guys later.